What up, pimps? Labruski here today in the very first Comics Corner. Now, this is a video series that I want to start solely dedicated to comic books. If you don't know by now, I love comic books, and I'm in a corner. So, in my head, it just kind of works. I digress. For the first one, I want to talk about my most recent read, which is Reckless by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. Now, before we kind of dive in, I will say I may be a little biased. Ed Brubaker as the writer and Sean Phillips on art is my favorite comic book duo ever. And if you're interested in comic books at all, I highly recommend checking out really anything they've written. Even their not so good stuff is still pretty freaking good. So please check them out, especially if you like thriller, crime, and whatnot. As you'll see here, this is definitely kind of a crime story. So let's just dive right into it. It follows Ethan Reckless. He's kind of a bit of a bounty hunter. Essentially, he'll do a lot of different jobs, not just hunting down people. And it's set in the late 80s. If you want to hire Ethan for his services, you just call a 1-800 number. So based off that premise alone, I mean, it feels like this book was made for me. Like, that premise just speaks to me. It's set in the late 80s and follows this oddball guy who's a bit of a bounty hunter. Perfect. And he lives in a movie theater, which, if you know me personally, you know I'm a bit of a movie buff. Okay, I went to school for cinema. I said that very pretentiously. I don't know why. I apologize. But anyhow, yeah, so this is like the perfect storm of story concepts for me. So if you haven't picked up already, I freaking love this book. Now, this is the first in a series. I believe there's 5 of them in total, including this one, maybe 6. And they do read like an anthology from my understanding. So if you aren't able to pick this one up for whatever reason, you should be fine with any of the others. But anyhow, yeah, so this book, it follows Ethan Reckless as a bounty hunter when a ex-girlfriend comes back into his life. Now, there is this whole mystery around his ex-girlfriend and Ethan because, as we learn, there was a bomb explosion that greatly affected Ethan, right? He had some memory loss and whatnot, so he's kind of bent out of shape from that. And, you know, we learn more about that. I'm not going to dive too much into spoilers, so if you're interested in reading this book at all, please read it, then come back. If you just don't care about spoilers, then I won't try to spoil everything. But yeah, it follows Ethan as he tries to track down someone who wronged his ex-girlfriend. And he's kind of doing it out of compassion for his ex-girlfriend, Rainey, but also, too, because, you know, he wants to get paid. So yeah, the story within itself is good. I will say that. The world that's set up, great. The characters, he has this assistant that's super interesting. And, you know, their relationship, I think, works really well. So I would say those are the good things. Now, the one thing that really does not work for me entirely is the ending. It just, the reveal, there's kind of 2 reveals, like a fake out reveal and then the actual reveal. The fake out reveal, which it's hard to even explain because it's not, it is true. Like the reveal is true, but it's kind of the wrong path that Ethan discovers. I think that the first one is pretty interesting, and I wonder if that's going to be explored more in later books. I'm not sure. But the second one, the actual reveal of the book, I don't think 100% works for me because, you know, this is a mystery, right? And mysteries are appealing to everyone because you can kind of play along with the main character, right? And try to piece the puzzle together. Here, the reveal, it really just kind of comes out of left field for me. And looking back, I think if they revealed more of Ethan's backstory and maybe, you know, reveal those memories that he lost earlier on, I think it would have worked and felt more earned. right? I just think here it just doesn't work, right? Like I would not have guessed the ending from the book, right? And you know, part of the mystery is, you know, you don't want to, right, guess the ending or know the ending, right? You don't want it to be too predictable, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So, but you kind of want to be somewhat right, you know, or at least have the right idea. Here it's like you don't at all. So I think they could have done that a little differently. But regardless, I still highly recommend this book. I think it's fantastic. I think as a kind of a crime thriller, it really works, just not so much as a mystery. But I am eager to see where else the character of Ethan Reckless goes in his 1-800 bounty hunter business. I just think the idea is so cool, and it is kind of like a pulp. He's kind of like a pulp hero, you know, where you can read the third book in the series and not have to read the first two to get it. So please check it out. It's great. And I think that's going to do it for today's video. If you liked it, please like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. It greatly helps out the channel. And expect more of these. I'm going to try to do them once a week or so. But, you know, I think I'll just do it as I read comics. I read a lot of comics. So some comic books, omnibuses in particular, they may take more than a week. So I hope you guys like this video and you look forward to more of these videos. Thanks, guys.